Aletheia Phrikodes, starting with line 150. Then cleared the mist, and o'er a star-strewn scene, divine and measureless, I gazed in awe. Alone in space, I viewed a feeble fleck of silvern light marking the narrow ken which mortals call the boundless universe. On every side, each as a tiny star, shone more creations vaster than our own, and teeming with unnumbered forms of life, though we, as life, would recognize it not, being bound to earthly thoughts of human mold. As on a moonless night the Milky Way in solid sheen displays its countless orbs, to weak terrestrial eyes each orb a sun, so beamed the prospect on my wandering soul, a spangled curtain rich with twinkling gems, yet each a mighty universe of suns. But as I gazed, I sensed a spirit voice, in speech didactic, though no voice it was, save as it carried thought. It bade me mark that all the universes in my view form but an atom in infinity, whose reaches pass ether-laden realms of heat and light extending to far fields, where flourish worlds invisible and vague, filled with strange wisdom and uncanny life, and yet beyond to myriad spheres of light, to spheres of darkness, to abysmal voids that know the pulses of disordered force. Back with these musings I surveyed the surge of boundless being, yet I used not eyes, for spirit leans not on the props of sense. The docent presence swelled my strength of soul. All things I knew, but knew with mind alone. Time's endless vista spread before my thought, with its vast pageant of unceasing change, and sempiternal strife of force and will. I saw the ages flow in stately stream, past rise and fall of universe and life. I saw the birth of suns and worlds, their death, the transmutation into limpid flame, their second birth and second death, their course perpetual through the aeons, termless flight. Never the same, yet born again to serve the varying purpose of omnipotence. And whilst I watched, I knew each second space was greater than the lifetime of our world, then turned my musings to that speck of dust, whereon my form corporeal took its rise, that speck, born but a second, which must die, in one brief second more, that fragile earth, that crude experiment, that cosmic sport, which holds our proud, aspiring race of mites and mortal vermin, those presuming mites whom ignorance with empty pomp adorns, and misinstructs in specious dignity. Those mites who, reasoning outward, vaunt themselves as the chief work of nature and enjoy infatuous fancy that particular care of all her mystic super-regent power. And as I strove to vision the sad sphere which lurked lost in ethereal vortices, methought my soul, tuned to the infinite, refused to glimpse that poor atomic blight, that misbegotten accident of space, that globe of insignificance whereon, my guide celestial told me, dwells no part of Empyrean virtue, but where breed the coarse corruptions a divine disease, the festering ailments of infinity, the morbid matter by itself called man, such matter, said my guide, as oft breaks forth on broad creation's fabric to annoy, for a brief instant, ere assuaging death, heal up the malady its birth provoked. Sickened, I turned my heavy thoughts away. Then spake the ethereal guide, with mocking mien, upbraiding me for searching after truth, visiting on my mind the searing scorn of mind superior, laughing at the woe which rent the vital existence of my soul. Methought he brought remembrance of the time when from my fellows to the grove I strayed in solitude and dusk to meditate on things forbidden and to pierce the veil of seeming good and seeming beauteousness that covers o'er the tragedy of truth, helping mankind forget his sorry lot, and raising hope where truth would crush it down. He spake, and as he ceased, methought the flames of fuming heaven resolved in torments dire, whirling in maelstroms of rebellious might, yet ever bound by laws I fathomed not, cycles and epicycles of such girth, that each a cosmos seemed, dazzled my gaze, till all a wild phantasmal glow became, now burst athwart the fulgent formlessness, a rift of pure sheen, a sight supernal, broader than all the void conceived by man, yet narrow here, a glimpse of heavens beyond, of weird creation so remote and great that even my guide assumed a tone of awe, borne on the wings of stark immensity. A touch of rhythm celestial reached my soul, thrilling me more with horror than with joy. Again the spirit mocked my human pangs, and deep reviled me for presumptuous thoughts, yet changing now his main he bid me scan the widening rift that clave the walls of space. He bade me search it for the ultimate. He bade me find the truth I sought so long. He bade me brave the unutterable thing, the final truth of moving entity. All this he bade and offered, but my soul, clinging to life, fled without aim or knowledge, shrieking in silence through the gibbering deeps. Thus shrieked the young Lucullus as he fled through gibbering deeps, and tumbled out of bed. Within the room the morning sunshine gleams, whilst the poor youth recalls his troubled dreams. He feels his aching limbs, whose woeful pain informs his soul. His body lives again, and thanks his stars our cosmoses are such that he survives the noxious nightmare's clutch. Thrilled with the music of the eternal spheres, or is it the alarm clock that he hears? He vows to all the pantheon, high and low, no more to feed on cake or pie or po. And now his gloomy spirits seem to rise, as he the world beholds with clearer eyes. The cup he thought too full of dregs to quaff affords him wine enough to raise a laugh. All this is metaphor, you must not think. Our late Endymion prone to stronger drink, with brighter visage and with lighter heart, he turns his fancies to the grocer's mart, and strange to say, at last he seems to find his daily duties worthy of his mind, since truth prove such a high and dangerous goal, our bard seeks one less trying to his soul. With deep-drawn breath he flouts his dreary woes, and a good clerk from a bad poet grows. Now close, attend my lay, ye scribbling crew, that bay the moon in numbers strange and new, that madly for the spark celestial ball, in meters short or long or none at all, curb your rash force, and numbers are at tea, nor overzealous for high fancies be, reflect ere ye the draught Purian take, what worthy clerks or plumbers ye might make. Wax not too frenzied in the leaping line, that neither sense nor measure can confine, lest ye, like young Lucullus, languish groan beneath poetic nightmares of your own.